friends. Welcome back to the Brain Candy Podcast. I'm one of your hostesses. Hosts. Where are you going with that? Hostess sounds like I'm working at a restaurant. Either way, I'm Sarah, and here with me, as always, the lovely Susie Meister.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Good to be back.
How are you, Suze?
Real good, Sarah.
Are you nice and full from the delicious egg sandwich you just made for me?
I am. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, it was so good. Susie made me my very first egg sandwich ever.
I mean,
Egg salad sandwich.
That's shocking to me. It's just a classic American sandwich.
I never thought I would like it, but I loved it.
The pickles are a Susie original.
I like
edition.
it like that. I could go back for more. And I saw the little piece that you didn't eat over there, and I almost picked it up and ate it.
I was going to bring that up because Allison Rosen, whose podcast is great, Allison Rosen is your new best friend. She does a segment all the time called "Is It Just Me or Everyone?" And I was going to ask you about that because I always leave at least one bite of whatever I'm eating.
You should.
Why?
Because that's a good, there's I think it's a Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
Where it says eat until you're
80% full.
Yeah, so leave, and I even heard 30%. Like, leave your stomach 30% empty.
Oh.
Well, I can't do that. You're right. Is there I'm like 130% full.
I don't do it
it's just the delicious
consciously.
Stuff.
It's not like
really?
No.
You just do it.
Yeah. And if I think about
leave one out for your homies.
No, I think it's like, oh, I didn't eat all of it.
Oh, it's like a mental
thing. Even if it's 12 feet long.
Well, I'll tell you, my husband has been like on this, and since we've always like worried about our diet and stuff like that, he said, I'm just going to eat what I want to eat, and I'll just always leave some on my plate. And it has been so successful for him, and he looks great, and he's like happy because he gets to eat what he wants to eat.
Wow.
That's the trick.
I read an article the other day about how losing weight really is about changing your environment, like the trick about using a smaller plate.
Yep.
And there was some other stuff that it was just like changing.
I'm iffy about the smaller plate thing.
Okay.
Because sometimes I feel like it doesn't, because I'm using a smaller plate, and I know since I'm the one who put the food on there, it feels like I'm really getting less. Whereas if I just put it on a bigger plate, it feels more like a snack. It doesn't feel like a meal to me. So I said, in my mind, I'm like, I just had a little plate of this, so I'll get another.
Oh, interesting.
Whatever. So if I sit down and I have a full dinner plate and, everything's on one plate instead of like the salad over here and the, whatever else I'm eating over there, it feels like a full meal. And then when I'm done, I'm like, okay, well, I already had my meal. I'm done. Rather than like, I'm just snacking here and there.
And I read like, if you have fruit and vegetables at like a school cafeteria by the register, they eat more of that because they'll buy it at the end impulsively. But a 30% increase as well if say they were carrots, if they were described as crunchy carrots.
Oh, good.
There's something about
we should do it like that.
The words that isn't more enticing than just like a carrot sitting out. So the point of the article was you and I had talked about this, was about how so much of what we do in our life is on autopilot.
Yep.
And so if you change some things, then you're more consciously eating or behaving in general.
Yeah, another trick for that is take a different route home.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Good for your brain.
It's so good for your brain. Like, change things up just a little bit. Like, take a shower in the other bathroom than you normally. Just changing your routine is, you think different, you observe more. It's really, there's a lot of science to that.
You know what I think is a bunch of bullshit? Is
what?
That, a bunch of bullshit is that Luminosity or whatever, that website where it's like, makes you smart, and they got sued.
Yeah. I mean,
if you enjoy it, that's cool.
And also I'd say it's better than, say, watching
everything else we do
television for 12 hours, whatever. So
but
also
you're not
read
gonna get smarter. That's why they got sued and they had to pay out money.
Right. It's not going to make you smart. It's not going to increase. It'll make you better at whatever task that is like I recently read this whole article in what was it in? So people can look it up. It was in the science. What's the science one that I really like? What's the science? Popular Science. Thank you. In Popular Science, about 6 months ago, there was an article on brain myths, and it said people who do crossword puzzles, the effects of doing crossword puzzles is you get better at doing crossword puzzles.
Yeah.
That was it. It was like all these studies only make you good, but there are some of those skills that can translate into other things in real life. Like, maybe faster hand-eye coordination is a good thing, or just being able to count numbers very fast, or being able to do multiplication or addition quickly in your head, that's good. But it's not going to, make you, it's not going to increase your critical thinking or your emotional intelligence, which are things that really make you a smart, well-rounded person who's successful.
Well, so just do it if you enjoy it then.
Yeah, and, I just think that kind of stuff is good because it gets people, if people are thinking that they're training their brain, then they are training their brain because the placebo effect is absolutely legit. And if they're thinking that they're training their brain by using luminosity and getting smarter, then I guarantee you they're going to be more interested in then reading books that are at a higher level or watching documentaries about stuff that maybe they thought before they weren't smart enough to watch. So I think it has like a weird effect in other
Do you walk around like feeling smart? Is that something? It's part of your identity, right?
No, I used to. Like, I have a friend who is a medical doctor who told me this once. He said, when I got my graduate degree, when I got my my bachelor degree, I thought I knew everything. When I got my graduate degree, I realized I knew nothing. When I got my PhD, I realized nobody knows anything. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of how it goes. Is like you really learn what you don't know, and when you're learning stuff that, I don't know, I think has a lot of weight, or like it seems like the more I know, the more I don't know. Like I have all this information on how to help people, but the real life application of that, or it's just, there's so much more that's out there. You think, how can you ever really know?
Well, funnily enough, you and I were texting this morning about some people that we saw that were going to be on an upcoming season of reality television.
No, the season on right now.
I didn't know. Oh, they're on right now.
They're on right now.
Oh, I thought you meant like that were just cast or something.
No, they're on TV right now.
But I felt guilty about what I said because I thought maybe they are smart.
Maybe they are. You're right.
I mean, you can get naked and be a slut and still be smart.
That's true. That's true.
I don't even know if they're sluts. I'm just judging by the pictures you showed me.
I looked on, 'cause Instagram showed me like people who you should follow or whatever. And there are some people from the new challenge. And so I clicked, or the new Real World, and I clicked on it. And they were very different profiles than mine. I'll put it that way.
Well,
which is fine. I'm fine. I mean, like,
why does it bother us though? Because we both sort of were like, oh, geez.
And maybe, I don't know. It's kind of like I said in the body issue. Like, I want to be known for my body of work, not my body, and I want somebody to look at me first. And it's hard to hear. Even say they did have PhDs, it's hard to hear about a PhD in molecular biology when you're posing nude in front of me. It's and.
Why did they have pictures like that?
It'd be the same thing if you were a guy. If you're a guy and you were standing naked and, with a, what in your hand, then I probably wouldn't be able to focus on astrophysics if that were your major.
Were those pictures taken like since they were on the show? Is that what
they were? I just screenshotted their Instagram.
Like the photos. Latest picture?
Like the 3 that were in their top 5.
Wow.
They're their first 5 that came up. I didn't have to.
Have
like,
you not
scroll
been
through
watching the show?
No, I can't. I feel like it's watching. It's kind of like. It would be like going back to the football game when you've already graduated high school, like going back to the like homecoming like in your head you're going like, ugh, they're not as good as our class. Class of 2000 was way better than this.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I have that like senioritis or whatever, senior like recently graduated alumni view of like, ugh. And then I'd watch it and I'm like, oh, was I like that? Holy crap. Click. But I do like that there's a guy on there who's speaking out about his sexual abuse, and I really think that is important, that the male sexual abuse survivors get some attention, because it does happen to 4 out of 10 males. So that's
Come on.
Yes. 4 out of 10 males and 6 out of 10 women under the age of 18 will experience sexual abuse sometime in their life. That's terrible statistics. And those are reported. Those are the ones that are reported. We don't even know about the underreported ones.
That's depressing.
Yeah.
Okay, so in theory, this episode is supposed to be another edition of our favorite.
Oh, I have to do my saying. Lifestyles of the weird and wacky. I think I'm getting better. I was practicing yesterday in the car.
You were not.
Yeah, well, just in my head, I was like, lifestyles. Like, I also think like I try to like if what's his name? I always forget. Robin Leach and Pee Wee Herman had a love child, then that would probably be me. Lifestyles of the weird and wacky.
Why do you think we love doing this so much? Not that boys, but this.
Well, I do love doing that. Because
everybody's weird.
Everybody's a little weird. And you know what? If there are weird things I do, we all do weird stuff.
Yeah.
Have you thought about any more weird stuff that you do? You have to. I don't feel like we got enough weird stuff out of you. You heard about my pick the nail polish off thing that we talked about last time, and a lot of people said that they did the same thing.
Yeah.
Picked out their nail polish and put it in little piles.
Yeah.
So how mad can I be at my husband who does it with toenails?
Pretty mad.
Okay. Nail polish, toenails is like the same thing.
I don't know. It's not. There's something gross about nails.
So what's your weird thing?
Let's see. I don't know. It's not weird. We always talk about how I pick my face.
Oh,
when
yeah.
I worry.
Well, a lot of people do that. I think you can get hypnosis. Let's go to hypnosis together and videotape that.
I would love to.
I want it too. I want it because I eat too much.
Compulsive. You eat too much.
I don't have an off switch.
But really, do you? Because what are we talking about here?
Like, I eat an entire bag of popcorn in one sitting.
Like what kind?
And then afterwards I feel sick.
Really?
Yes, because I'm like, it's not conscious eating. It's totally unconscious, like.
Whoa.
And I also know I'm a sleep eater, and I want to have hypnosis for that.
Yeah. What are you hungry for? Like, what are you so hungry?
Attention, love, power.
Oh God. Wonder why. Well, I guess we all have our things, right?
So we're gonna go to hypnosis, but
okay. I wanted to talk about this article that I read where, let's see, it's a Buddhist monk. The headline is, "The 200-year-old mummy of a Buddhist monk was just found, and apparently he's not dead."
What?
So I was like, well, this I've got to see, you know?
Yeah.
And there are pictures of this mummified man.
Okay, I have to look. Hang on,
Yeah.
people. What?
And he's in.
Yes, is he alive?
No. 200 years old?
Well, what you said? It says apparent. What? Why would you say it like that then?
That's just the headline. I didn't say it like that. So it's in the lotus position or whatever.
Yeah.
And
of course he's dead.
Right, but here's the funny thing. It says the hands are in a certain position. This is a sign that the Lama is not dead, but it is a very deep meditation, according to the ancient tradition of Buddhist Lamas.
I got news for you, people. Mo Frere over there is dead.
I think it's cute, but like, I learned a lot about the practices of Buddhist monks when I was studying, and
yes.
One of the guys in my department was a Buddhist monk from Sri Lanka, and they talk a lot about these guys that meditate for like
Right.
10 years and they never get up to go to the bathroom.
What about the guy with his hand in the air?
Yes.
Okay,
there's
what
a
the
lot
heck?
of these. And there are people that just sit for years and like don't eat or go to the bathroom or whatever. And so
what is that?
I mean, it depends. We don't know. It could be a miracle or it could be a scam. Or
But the guy with the hand in the air. You've seen that one, right?
No, I've just heard of like
Google
in general.
it right now.
Okay.
This hand has been in the air for like that many years, and it looks like that mummy.
Monk with hand in the air.
Yep, it'll come up, guaranteed. You people can look it up at home. But they had cameras on him for a long time, and he never puts it down. And then he also does the like not gonna eat thing. I can't explain it.
He's been holding his arm in the air since 1973.
Yeah.
Hold on, I need a picture of this.
Yeah, click on images. It's interesting. You'll know exactly.
Is it this guy?
Exactly when you see it. Yep, that would be it, I think.
It's probably just a broken arm and it's like fucked up like that.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Like it has to stay that way?
He claims he's kept his hand in the air since 1973. 38 years later, his hand is just as a useless piece of skin and bone.
Oh.
Well, here's the thing. What we do know
I couldn't do any of that.
is...
And that also I don't think wouldn't get me any closer to God.
We have a problem because... Oh, there we go. We do know that sometimes they self-immolate, like they set themselves on fire to protest like injustice around the world. And they meditate while they're doing it, and they don't flinch. They're on fire and to death, and they don't make any moves. So there is some power in meditation.
Absolutely.
And they do lower their heart rates and their everything so that they are burning like 0 calories and things like that. So there's some pretty amazing things.
Pretty much
can
whatever
happen.
you believe will, like the mind is a very, 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 very powerful thing.
So who knows? But
if you can train it to only think one way, and you've had that since you were born to think a certain way. Oh.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it because it's a little curious thing that goes on and we don't really know. And I also was reading today about there's somebody here in Fresno who says that their statue of Virgin Mary is like weeping.
I love when that happens.
Yeah. I was wanting to go because it's nearby.
Well, why don't we take a field trip?
I know. Brain Candy Podcast on the road.
On the road, you see?
I am convinced we should do a whole series where we do a road trip.
I think so too.
And stop at all those fucked up, like, biggest yarn ball and all
I'd love it.
that stuff.
I'd get out my knitting needles and just start knitting right there. I'm sure somebody's done that before.
It's basically like our version of road rolls, really.
Yeah, with no prizes, no reward.
No self-respect.
No. But I do have one of those cow head horn things we can tie to the front of our
See, that means
my
we should
Jeep.
do it. Well, we were talking about going camping when we were drunk last week.
Oh, you're coming with me.
Yeah. I think we really should
we were
rent an
drunk
RV and put GoPros up in it, and then people can watch this.
That'd be great.
It would be hilarious.
Hilarious. Mm-hmm. I can totally drive that thing.
So that'll be
I
our
bet you
next
could
Kickstarter.
too. Yeah, we're going to be Kickstarted for that too.
But anyway, yeah, so the lady says her statue's weeping, and like they had one in...
So what happens there?
Again,
What's going on?
it depends on what you believe. It might be a miracle. It might be a clogged pipe.
Doesn't like that. There's always an explanation.
Sure. But it is
weird.
weird.
I want to know what this one is. Like, what is it?
I tried to get my the professor that mentored me, she is an expert in stigmata.
Oh, yeah.
And I tried to get her to tell me, like, what is the deal?
What's the deal?
But she is a practicing Catholic, and so I was just like, what are we dealing with here? And she was like, we don't know. No, we know. But
tell me.
That's another thing, where is it like...
I saw that movie, The Gift. No, The Seventh Seal. Have you seen that? With Demi Moore. You have to see it. Or The Seventh Sign, I think it is.
Okay.
Oh, my God. It's so good. It's like all about that stuff.
Well, what are you inclined to think is happening with these types of things?
Well, I think there's always a scientific explanation for something, but I also do think that there are some things science can't explain. And I don't know if that's that we haven't discovered that. Like, I don't think you can be somebody who says that they believe in science without accepting that you don't know. That there
Yeah,
are,
people are criticizing you. Did you see that on
No.
something? I don't know if it's an iTunes review or somewhere where they're mad that you say you're such a lover of science, but you like astrology and other things like superstitious stuff and
not just little seditious stuff.
and there's been a few psychics and things like
Well,
that.
and with the psychics, like, listen, I go in just with an attitude of I don't know. And I've just seen some things that I can't say are not true.
Just because you love science doesn't mean you have it all figured out.
Doesn't mean, and I don't know. And I think there are a lot of scientists out there who go, well, we just don't know enough about this. That's fair.
Yeah.
But
It is.
when you give me evidence that says something is not true or evidence of that something is true, I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And like
you take on
tested,
new information.
Scientific method, all that,
Yeah.
I'm for it. But until then, I'm like, I don't know. All things, who knows?
Yeah.
It makes things more fun that way.
Yeah. That's the fun of life, I feel. It's so boring to be.
What is it? I think it's Socrates who said the only thing I know is that I know nothing.
Yeah. See? That's the theme of this episode. That's what we should call it. We don't know anything.
We don't know
shit.
The episode where we don't know shit.
I wanted to bring up another art. Did you have something you want to bring up? I don't want to hog the headlines here.
Hog away. I might kind of bleed into this. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. Speaking of Buddhist monks, guess where my mom just got back from?
Oh, where?
John of God in Brazil. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I saw him on Oprah.
So what do you know about him?
That he's proclaimed to be a miracle worker in Brazil, and you have to wear all white when you go to him, and that he wears all white, and he performs these physical healing miracles and such on people, and they come from all over the world.
So my mom said that she had this spiritual surgery done, and she said it was so intense that she couldn't even walk afterwards, and she had to take a taxi back to wherever she was staying.
What kind of surgery?
I have no idea. She's just sent me a postcard from here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is kind of a teaser because we don't have any of the
I don't have any details, but
it reminded me. Did you ever see the movie Man on the Moon with about Andy Kaufman, the comic? Yeah. When he wanted to cure his cancer, and then he went to one of these places, and the guy it looked like he was taking the cancer out of him, but it was just like an illusion. Mm-hmm. And the joke was that Andy Kaufman was the king of big hoaxes and pranks, and then he got
hoaxed
his own medicine.
Yeah.
But so I picture it like that, where it's like, oh yeah, because it's always like psychosomatic stuff. It's not like someone was blind and now they see.
Well, and like we were saying with the placebo thing, like whatever you believe will be. Like, if you believe that you're ill, you'll feel sick.
But your mom will be mad at me because she's going to post on my wall.
She's going to get mad at me, too. She's going to be like, this is the real deal.
But that's cool. If it is for you, then it is.
Yes, that's what I say. It's like, if it is the real deal for you, then it is. Because there are people, the placebo effect is strong. Strong.
I mean, if he raises somebody from the dead, I'll be super impressed with that.
And?
From the grave.
Susie wants zombies, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ready for it. I got my zombie apocalyptic survival guide in the crate. If we can get this in the car.
Why are people obsessed with zombies? Tell me.
I think people are obsessed with anything that defies or that's taboo. And I think that's the ultimate taboo. There are certain subjects that are just so death is so.
That's the ultimate.
The ultimate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for there to be something that defies death and that's, I think, something we're all fascinated in. I think there's the same fascination with that as there is with the afterlife in general, with ghosts. And there's no more fascination with zombies as there is with psychics or ghosts or heaven.
Well, it's really on trend right now, though.
Yeah,
You know.
I think it's just and if you ask me, we absolutely could have a zombie breakout.
Okay, well, I'll bite.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Okay, if there were a neurotoxin that you were able to put out that had did
like
anything,
it's basically like giving people rabies.
Kinda, but if you did something that were to enlarge or shut down or have some effect of the amygdala with like our fear centers, and like you switched off like the higher functioning part of the brain, or you created a virus that attacked the frontal lobe that was our higher functioning and the thing that separates us from like animals, like there's like what they call the mammalian brain and the reptilian brain, and like the reptilian brain, like reptiles will eat their babies because they just will, because that nature says so. But when you have this higher, more evolved brain, you care for them. And so if they were able to shut off the higher evolved part, we would absolutely eat our
I guess I
children
just
and
don't
not even
understand
care
why
about
they
it.
keep walking like that. This is the dumbest episode ever.
It's not. There are people, I swear, you know who we have to get on here? Avery. Avery from the challenge. She knows all about it. That girl is freaking went to zombie survival camp. She like knows all about this stuff. And she'd come on here and she'd be like, here's why it's true. And here's why Sarah's right. And I'm telling you, zombie outbreak could for sure happen.
I want to have a guest on that goes to zombie apocalypse training camp to tell me why Sarah's right.
Oh, that's great.
Well, I need a vacation after talking about that.
Yeah, where are you going to go?
I want to encourage people to check out fortmyers-sanibel.com.
Good news, zombies can't swim in the ocean.
And June 20th is the first day of summer. Also National Seashell Day, which tickles me.
Shelling.
Because Sarah, if you go to Sarah's house, she has like shelves of sand and seashells, and it's just real cute. And so I feel like you need to go and collect.
I will.
But this is perfect for everybody, families. There's tons of attractions, parks, lighthouses, and culture. Everyone should check it out. fortmyers-sanibel.com, and you can order the free Lonely Planet guidebook to learn more about the lovely beaches.
Those Lonely Planet guidebooks are great.
Yeah, they're handy.
Yeah, super handy.
I really would love a vacation. See, this is where we could go when we do our little on the road.
Oh,
Why don't we go somewhere lovely?
I know, the beach.
Why are we going camping? Yeah.
Oh, we're going camping too.
We can do both.
We can go camping at the beach.
Okay. So fortmyers-sanibel.com. And, okay, I wanted to talk to you about, I read an article about a Republican senator he's running for Senate, and they discovered that he was a drag queen for 8 years. I love it so much.
That's amazing. And also,
but now he's like, thinks that's wrong, and he was ashamed.
Are you kidding me?
No. He's a Republican.
Freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
How can you master the art of contouring your tits and then deny people equal rights?
Yep.
Fuck you, Senator. Also,
Stephen
speaking of fuck,
Wiles.
I was listening to one of our last podcasts. I cursed so much in it.
We bring out the worst in each other.
I was like a freaking Marine or truck
what
driver.
What happens? Is it the wine?
I was real feisty the other day, and I cursed. So I apologize for all the F-bombs I dropped.
had to email.
And now my grandma has started listening. So my 98-year-old grandmother is listening to me talk about bags of dicks.
Oh, why would how does she even know how to listen?
Well, my aunt set her up with it.
Your aunt listens?
It's all bad. It's just... And then everybody's like... All my mother-in-law is like, set me up with a podcast. I'm like, don't set her up with a podcast.
Oh my God. I appreciate all the support.
I know. I love the support. Don't get me wrong. But I also, I have a lot of splendor to do at the dinner table.
That is great. Well, you know what? I had to email Play.it and tell them to make us explicit. I'm like, we are not. Why do you have us this clean?
Oh, we're definitely not a family show.
Right. We had a whole episode about wieners.
Whole episode. About dicks.
So anyway, the senator that was a drag queen I love, but I also wanted to know if you're a fan of drag queens.
Suze.
Not that that's weird or wacky.
Of course.
It's a little, on the fringe.
I love them.
I love them.
In fact, I wish that I could dress up like that. Because I think it's getting to play around with femininity in a way that's totally different, and like getting to have like exaggerated femininity. And I, as somebody who's like, I do my hair and put on a dress every now and then, but I wouldn't say I'm like super feminine. So to get to like be that over the top character, and I just would love to lip sync to like any, female power ballad. Be? I think I do love. Oh no! I know what I would do, which I've done at many karaoke nights. Is I Touch Myself by the Divinals. I just think it's the best, most hilarious one. It's a crowd pleaser. Or Walk Like an Egyptian. That one's a good one.
Mine is It's Raining Men.
Yeah, oh my God. If you ever wanted to do the intro to that. Ha, where are your weather girls? Mm-hmm.
And have we got news for you? You
better listen.
Get ready. Oh, you lonely girls. Is it girls?
And leave those umbrellas at home.
Yeah. Humidity is rising.
Ooh, rising.
Barometer's getting low.
How low?
I can't believe you know the words. It's so great.
I know, everyone. This is why we're meant to be. We could take this on the road. We could be drag queens.
We should work on this.
We should be drag queen versions of ourselves, like exaggerated versions of self.
That's not hard to do.
You know, like when Adele enters the Adele lookalike contest and she like loses, or like Charlie Chaplin. Like you and I should enter like a reality star lookalike contest and just be exaggerated versions of Susie and Sarah from
really
the challenge.
Funny.
And we would probably lose,
which
I'd be totally
fantasy,
fine with.
But it's so great. Getting low, 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 low. Why didn't they have more hits? Those ladies had pipes.
I know, the Weather Girls?
Yes.
Oh, so good.
I wanted to tell you, I've told you about this project that I'm working on where I have to, I'm sending letters to serial killers.
I love it. Well, I can't believe that I got a message from your husband or a picture from your husband with all of the serial killers' addresses on there. And then I was like...
No, that was on Facebook.
Okay, it was on Facebook. And then I was like, oh my God. There was like this flash that went through my head of like, that's their personal info. Then I'm like, oh wait, they're in jail. They don't really have addresses. They're not going to be offended that you're leaking their information.
No, it's public knowledge.
So what'd you put in your letters?
Well, I wrote to BTK, the BTK killer. He is so fascinating.
Torture, kill.
Bind, torture, kill. And his story is so interesting to me because he was this quote unquote normal guy in like Kansas or something. And he was married to this woman and had 2 kids and was a deacon at his church.
Oh, Lord.
And he, they all get found out because they'd start like getting an ego and like writing to the police officers and kind of taunting them like, oh, you didn't find me yet. And he got caught because he sent them a disc. And wait, no, the funny thing is he sent them a letter beforehand and said, if I send you a disc, will you be able to know where I am? And they were like, no. True story. And so he's like, okay. Like he thought he had a trusting relationship.
Oh, I know this story because they did a Law and Order from the headlines about it.
Oh my God. And so he sent them the disc so then they could trace it. They traced it to his church. And then they contacted his daughter and got her DNA and did a test, and he had ejaculated on his victim, so they had his DNA.
Oh my God, his own daughter. Well, I'm looking at his picture. He is creepy.
He is creepy, but I mean normal. Looks like any old guy.
Yeah, but you know creeper. What? Not really.
Yeah, not now that we know he's BTK.
And then what TV show was it on? I think it was on Amy Schumer, who was so funny. She did this whole sketch about a glasses store that only sold glasses to cult leaders and serial killers and pedophiles because they all have the same like horrible like the way the glasses are rimmed like that. And most of the time the glasses are also featured in their sketch, like the you know.
Yeah. Although the Unabomber had some kick-ass aviators.
Oh yeah, those, you know.
I wrote a letter to him.
So did you refer to him as, what is it, BTK?
Oh my God, what if I did? What if I was like, Dear
BTK? His name's Dennis.
Yeah, I said
like
Mr. Raider.
Mr. Raider.
And I read that when he writes back, he likes to talk about.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous about you getting a letter back.
I used my real address on it too.
Susie.
Well, they all have life sentences.
And friends.
And friends.
Outside of jail?
I hadn't thought about that.
Oh my God.
I do need to get a post office box.
Susie, we need one for the show.
We really do.
Can we just get one? We have to get one.
Because
we'll
I keep
work this out
sending
later.
things to
Me
people
too.
and
This
putting
we
my...
need to stop. Okay, we should. This is a Susie's sending. You have a child here. I stay here.
I stay here. I mean, well, okay. There's nothing I can do now. I already sent them.
I know. Oh,
I sent them
Lord
to
help us
Charles
all.
Manson, BTK, Unabomber, and who was the last one? There was somebody else. Son of Sam.
Son of Sam.
That is great
David
because
Berkowitz.
he found Jesus, and you can watch a video of him in jail talking about it, and it is so interesting because, explain this to me, doc, a psychologist. I assume, so a lot of these people are either, sociopath or psychopathic people, and then they also have the violent thing, which, some sociopaths never do anything violent.
Yeah, they call it the trifecta, like the triple.
They have all this bad stuff. But so that's just the way it goes. You can't undo that. But when you watch this video of him now, he seems like a totally nice, articulate, cool guy.
I think that's a big old sham.
I'm going to show it to you when we're done because I really would love to know what you think. Because to me, it's like, wait, maybe something about religion, because it does appeal to like addicts and stuff.
Yeah, and also appeals to the psychopathic, like a antisocial personality.
Why?
Like, remember when you interviewed that doctor who
The
studied
psychopath.
psychopath brains? He said that same kind of brain has an affinity for religion, and you'll often find that serial killers and people like that have other people in their family who went the other direction.
Okay, that's true.
And there's got to be something about...
Well, anyway, whatever. Okay, but it worked. Like, he is sorry.
I think they're lies.
That's horrible.
I do.
All of the living have hope, Sarah.
Because he's legitimately ill. Like, he had hallucinations.
Yeah,
he thought
did.
there was a dog telling him to go kill people. The dog was the devil.
But maybe he's on medicine.
Okay, he could be medicated.
Because don't they do that in jail?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then he's like a normal fucking guy. He should have just gone to a doctor. I'm sorry to Sarah's grandma for my language.
God, that makes me nervous.
But I'm happy if people get better, then that's great.
You're
not
if
happy?
you've already used murdering people as your coping mechanism, and that becomes like embedded in you, I feel like that's like an itch you can't. I don't know. I would have to research.
That's why I'm asking you, because that's what they say. That like
I think it's instinctual to like.
Well, because I've heard it described, which helped me understand it as, let's say you have this urge and then you do it, like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Then you might feel bad or whatever, wish you hadn't, and then you stop for a while. But it's like having to go to the bathroom, where you can hold your pee for a while and you can hold it pretty long, but eventually you do have to pee. It's like that, where then eventually you do need to kill again in order to quench or scratch that itch or whatever you said. So I don't know how then you could turn your life around.
You'd have to replace. Well, that's where I guess that's where the religion side comes in, because you'd have to replace that with something.
Yeah, you
have
get
to have
that
a strong
euphoria,
enough urge, and strong enough that over something else. But it's the same. I think this. I'm gonna get heat for this because I'm comparing. I know This is a huge generalization, but the same way if you have a dog that has attacked before and attacked a person, and then you rehabilitate the dog, The dog may be wonderful and nice, but in the right circumstances, if he experiences the stressor that he can't handle, that instinctive coping mechanism is going to come to the surface again, and it's almost going to be like a dog attacking, and you can't. That's why they deny them parole or or whatever.
Well, I wanted. I looked
absolutely. That's every time. Freaking! I watched when Son of Sam was up for. Isn't that what it's called? Parole, up for parole, or
I'm sure he was not.
Yes, he was. It was, yeah. And they denied him. They said he tried to. I'm gonna look it up because I did a report on this when I was in high school. So Sam Berkowitz.
His name is David.
Oh, David. I always call it Sam.
Yeah.
Of course. I do that every single time. David Berkowitz. I do that.
Yeah. I would be shocked, though, given his history, if they even had that as an option, parole. But although I think Charles Manson...
Yeah, after a few, they can, like...
For good behavior or whatever.
Yeah.
They're never
so he was denied parole in March of 2014.
Who?
Son of Sam.
Jeez.
He wanted out of prison. So he had a parole hearing in 2012 and 2014.
Well, I really hope I hear back from these people.
Me too.
Because I anticipate, if I tell people about it, that they will think that's horrible, that you shouldn't give attention to these monsters, especially like the victims' families would be like, we all know their names, but we don't know the names of these innocent people. But I mean, there is something interesting about the way the human brain can be so bad and so good, and what causes one person to go this way and one person to go that way. And that's something interesting to me that I want to explore.
Oh, there's so much to explore.
Yeah.
He was adopted.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions to ask.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it makes me ill, too.
Would you turn your brother in if you knew that he was...
Yes. I would.
Yeah, you would.
I absolutely would.
You never liked those two. I'm just joking.
Get out. I love them. But I also...
What if they were doing something that wasn't murder?
Well, I found out that one of my brothers...
Oh, this is fun.
Uh-huh. I mean, this was during, like... And I will say my brothers taught me a lot about boys and how boys are very different than girls. And my brother and his friends, like, broke into some abandoned construction site and just started destroying stuff. Like, there was, like, an old... And this was old. It was, like, old stuff that had been there for forever. And they said there was, like, computers from, like, 1999 in there.
Oh, wow.
Or earlier.
Well, why were they doing it?
Because they were, like, boys just wanting to wreck stuff.
Oh,
and they just went through and just were like, let's destroy this. And... I would never let my brothers... I would say if they did something that hurt somebody else. Like, if they did something that... Yeah,
So you didn't report them?
No, I didn't report them. But I gave them a stern talk or two. And now they're good. Like, one of them is a freaking firefighter. Like, he's not doing anything...
Turned his life around.
That was the one who destroyed things. He's a firefighter now.
Well,
he was also, like, the brother who wanted to light things on fire became a firefighter.
Well, so. They say that's often the case of arsonists as well, that they are fascinated by fire. Yeah. And so the same person that would be fascinated would want to be around it all the time. So it does make sense. But
it does. Keep my eye on that one.
Yeah, right? Because they get caught, too. Because you can tell who started fires.
Yes, they want to get caught.
That's all I have for today. Do you have anything you want to talk about before we go?
We talked about drag queens. I think I'm good.
I am loving Back to Reality. I hope you guys are watching on our YouTube channel.
I can't wait for our next mini challenge.
And I love we do the live broadcast on Wednesdays so people can do Q&A. Yes, tell them about the mini challenge in case they didn't see it.
Okay, so on Back to Reality, our recap episode of the challenge from Rivals 3, we compete in our own little mini challenge. So we take your favorite past challenges from a whole bunch of different old school challenges, and we shorten them.
We recreate them
on a smaller scale, and then Susie and I compete, and we're going to keep a running tally of who wins the most mini challenges, and then at the end, she said, like, winner gets $100, but I think we should do something else, like winner has to, like, do something, or loser has to do something. That's even better.
That's even worse, because I anticipate losing.
Yeah, I do anticipate winning, so it's great for me.
But wouldn't you want to win $100?
Well, yeah.
But you'd rather watch me do something horrible. That's nice.
Okay, you're right. I'll take the $100.
Well, at any rate, people, I think you guys will love it. If you have a particular challenge that you want us to recreate.
Yeah, share your favorite challenges.
I mean, we can find a way, even if you think they could never do a tightrope walk, we can find ways to make it silly. It's honest.
Oh, I have ideas.
Yeah.
I have ideas.
Because we did that on one challenge. There's all different stuff. You could choose anything. All right. So don't forget to subscribe. That's on YouTube. Subscribe to us on iTunes. And follow us on Instagram, Brain Candy Podcast.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.